Is Pam Bondi trying to win a competition for stupidest person in Donald Trump's administration? Because that might be the only explanation for what we've seen this year. The Epstein files release, if you can even call it that, considering they're breaking the law right now by withholding thousands and thousands and thousands of documents, emails, photos, and videos, has been the biggest screw-up and scandal that we have ever seen from an administration. And Pam Bondi just made it worse this morning, because after she accidentally let photos of Donald Trump and Epstein slip out through a complete cover-up, an attempted cover-up, she then got caught deleting them. Yes, the photos that accidentally went out last night. Pam Bondi got caught deleting. We are going to get into it all and what it means for Donald Trump's cover-up and the criminal just accountability that's coming. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already, and you enjoy our channel, hit that subscribe button, because it goes a long way in supporting our work. And before we get into what Pam Bondi posted and then deleted, I want to start with Adam Schiff, who is already talking about accountability for her.
Raising the question. We know they've been through all of the files at least once looking for Donald Trump's name. That was reported by multiple news organizations. Susie Wiles confirms in a series of 11 on-the-record interviews that Trump is in the files. But I wonder if you have evidence that things were tampered with or just concerns that they could be that led to that call for the audit.
Well, when I issued that letter, it was concerns that they wouldn't be forthcoming in what they were going to provide to the American people. And those fears have become all too realized today with this completely unlawful withholding of information from the Justice Department. It is a violation of the law. And I think, frankly, the remedies now have to be stronger than what I earlier proposed. I think we ought to bring Pam Bondi before the Senate Judiciary Committee, demand answers as to why the department has violated the law. It's not just that they had 30 days to go through this to do the production. They've had the whole year to do it. They promised to release the files. They haven't done it. They could have been completely ready for this moment, and they're not.
Pam Bondi broke the law. She did it blatantly. She's still breaking the law. This was not a one-time thing. Every single day that the full Epstein files are not released, and I'm not talking about the full Epstein files going out the door and everything. Just one big black square covering up Donald Trump's crimes. Corruption and disgusting behavior towards children. That's not a release. That is not a redaction. It's not a release, right? It's spelled out in the law that Donald Trump signed. So every single second of every single day that these files are not out, Pam Bondi is obstructing justice and breaking the law. That much is true. And Republicans are already moving forward. At least Thomas Massie is. And hopefully, he will have some support in filing articles of impeachment and taking Pam Bondi out of the DOJ. And hopefully, because this is what should happen, putting her behind bars. She's broken the law. She's breaking the law. And it's what Congressman Ro Khanna, who is helping move forward that impeachment inquiry, said right here.
Required all unclassified information being released today. They obviously have not complied with that law. They claim that this is because it was only a few weeks. Well, they've known about this for months. They should have been preparing that. So at the very least, what we need is for the Attorney General or the Deputy Attorney General to have a press conference and say, here is what we have released. Here is the timeline of what we're going to release by when to be in full compliance of the law. Here is what we've redacted, and here is why we've redacted this, which is required by the law.
We deserve answers, but we don't even need them at this point. We know what's going on. We know what's happening behind closed doors. We are a lot smarter than I guess Donald Trump believes us to be. He thinks a few photos of Bill Clinton and like Michael Jackson, which, by the way, that photo of Clinton with Michael Jackson that a lot of people are sharing around with the two young children with their faces redacted. Those aren't Epstein's victims. Those are just children of people who were there at the fundraising event that Bill Clinton and Michael Jackson were both attending. This was not Epstein evidence. This was a photo that had already existed in the world that Donald Trump tried to frame as more evidence so that people would be distracted. That's how dumb they think we are. They also think we're so stupid that we won't notice when they start deleting the evidence that they already posted. Pam Bondi is obstructing justice. She's also deleting evidence. And it's just more evidence at this point for the cover-up and their breaking of the law. Journalist Aaron Barnes posted that after Midas Touch showed these photos of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein in the Epstein files accidentally released. Barnes wrote, "It appears as though these photos have now been taken down from the Department of Justice's website. And if you go to that link that would previously show these photos, what do you see? You see nothing. You see nothing at all. Zero zilch photos disappeared. Gone. They are tampering with the evidence. They are hiding the evidence. They are obstructing this investigation. They are breaking the law. It is going to be a laundry list. A laundry list of charges for Pam Bondi. And that is what every Democrat should be saying right now. That the intern or maybe it's probably not an intern, but the lower level official who literally clicked the delete button, you are a criminal. It is not just Pam Bondi. What I want to make clear, in the same way that Donald Trump said that he was going after every federal official who was clocking into work doing their job, trying to serve this country, majority of course, which fired wrongfully were veterans. The veterans that Donald Trump fired in the federal workforce. He said, we're going after all of you. I want everyone at the DOJ who's following Pam Bondi's lead, who's going along with this criminal activity, and the same way who with the warning that was made to service members saying do not follow illegal orders. If Pam Bondi is telling you to break the law, do not break the law, or you are a part of this criminal cabal. You are a part of this criminal cover-up. That's what every Democrat should be saying right now. I'm glad Ro Khanna is coming out saying, Pam Bondi, we will prosecute you. That message needs to go out to everyone under her as well. If you are falling in line, you do not have immunity. And by the way, they are gonna be happy to throw you under the bus. Donald Trump does not care about you for even a second. Everybody who has worked with Donald Trump knows that he demands utmost loyalty. But he does not return that favor. Pam, she is so stupid, only bringing more attention to their criminality, to their cover-up. And we are gonna keep pushing. Certainly Jamie Raskin is who was on MSNBC last night, and he had some bad news in an update for Pam Bondi.
Today. And, you know, back in July, they told us there was nothing left to see there. And in September, Kash Patel testified before our committee, and he said, yeah, we didn't find any potential evidence of any other crimes, which means they've already been through it. And now suddenly they're postponing and, you know, they're prevaricating and, you know, making up excuses all the way. So it's going to be a fight to get this stuff out and to see justice for the survivors who have been very much driving this train, and also to see accountability for whatever other criminals are out there, people who cooperated with Ghislaine Maxwell and with Jeffrey Epstein.
So I can't see what the upside is for Kash Patel and Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche to be involved in this. It seems that Dan Bongino has made a decision that he's not going to stick around the FBI because he doesn't feel like being involved in this. They don't have the same protections that the President of the United States has. What Ro Khanna was talking about, things can be pursued, of them if they are not telling the truth.
Well, that's true, except that, Donald Trump is passing out pardons like Christmas cookies right now. So if you're in for a dime, you're in for a dollar. At this point, given how much they've gone along as accomplices in this cover-up, they figure they're better off just doing whatever Donald Trump tells them to do, so that there might be, a pardon waiting somewhere over the rainbow for them. So I think, that they're going to continue to stick around. Others, like Bongino, are like members of a religious cult who wake up on the basement floor one day and say to themselves, somewhere I took a wrong turn, and now look where my life is, and they're trying to get out as quickly as they can.
So someone who's looking at a pardon or a commutation very soon is Ghislaine Maxwell. She seems to be the most kinetic character in this whole thing. She's moving forward with trying to get better treatment than she's already got by being moved to a sort of a prison camp. What do you make of how that situation fits into all of this?
Well, this is really the only thing about the whole affair that is remotely transparent, because we can see exactly what's going on. She got subpoenaed on one day by the House Oversight Committee. And the very next day, she hears from Todd Blanche, who had been Donald Trump's private criminal defense lawyer, who had gone over to Department of Justice, who was conveniently assigned to be overseeing all this stuff as the number 2 person there. He goes to see Ghislaine Maxwell. And not to try to find out who are the other co-conspirators, who are the other accomplices, what crimes have yet to come to light that we should be involved in. No, he goes simply to find out what will she say about Donald Trump, and pronouncing himself satisfied. And remember, he got rid of the real lawyers in the case, and but pronouncing himself satisfied with her answers, then suddenly she gets this very sweetheart deal where she goes off to this minimum security.
You are not going to be able to hide. There is no amount of redaction and running away and lying your way out of this one. You cannot 2 weeks your way. This isn't a fake Trump healthcare plan, right? You can't 2 weeks your way out of the Epstein files. This is a catastrophe for Trump's administration. It should be the end of Pam Bondi's career. Donald Trump should have never been president. There are so many things that should have ended his presidency. But we are gonna keep talking about this every single day. If you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around at the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Keep on fighting, y'all. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, I will see you soon.